And welcome. We are back with another Sessions with Stef. And let me tell you guys, this is going to be a good one. It's going to be a little different than all the rest. Usually I interview musicians. I'm still interviewing musicians, but the interview is going to be a little different than normal. I love doing this podcast. It's a podcast with musicians about the music business. But anyone can listen because we talk about daily things that happen with musicians, but it always relates to daily life. I'm loving doing this. I get to speak with friends and family sometimes, and people that I've worked with, people that I don't know or have worked with. And it's a blast. Having chats like this is something I guess I didn't know I always wanted to do, but I love it. It's even people that I've known for years. I'm discovering new things because of this podcast, because we sit down and we have a chat for an hour, and it's fantastic. Our show is brought to you by some sponsors, which I'm going to lay one out. It's Bon Appetit Traiteur. They provide us food on set with our Licumbari series, and it's phenomenal. And they've also provided food for our podcast as well. They do great work. Their food is fantastic. They cater, they bring to you. You can go pick it up there. They have a hall. They do it all. You can call John at 514-389-4345. This is Traiteur Bon Appetit. They are fantastic. Our next sponsor and our first original sponsor is Fearless Sounds, but I'm not going to go into it that much right now because that is part of our episode today is going to be Fearless Sounds. So this is fantastic. We're going to have Francesca Sacerdoti here.
Hello.
I'm going to give you I just want to give a little breakdown quickly. Subscribe on YouTube, Sessions with Stef, our sister podcast, which features Francesca and Lisa as well. She's right here on the mic.
And Olivia.
Olivia is our mascot. She's for sure. And so Lisa and Francesca have Let's Talk It Out. That's another podcast which you have to subscribe to. And you know what? We cross promote each other. We it's a sister brother podcast. We work together every Wednesday. There's something that comes out at 7 p.m. and that's on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts and stuff. Go ahead, subscribe, like, share, comment. If you know guests that want to be on either show, write it in the comments. We love that. We're looking forward to that. It's amazing. And now I'm going to get to the meat and potatoes of what we're doing here on this podcast. So why it's a little different. Generally, I always have a musician, a singer. They perform a couple of songs to give you an idea of what they do. And it's always fantastic. But I've had a few people, write in and tell me that they want a little bit more information sometimes. And if there's musicians or even people that are not musicians, just to know how the business works, I have our sponsor, Fearless Sounds, Francesca. She's here on the show. I want to get some tips. I want to get some ideas about what a publicist does. So Francesca, Fearless Sounds, she is a publicist. She does marketing. She covers all angles. She can be a manager for artists. And we're going to go more in depth into what she can do to help you as a musician. She
can be your bartender if you want.
She can be a bartender. I mean, we can go
some cocktail that you can prepare before going on stage. Don't drink when you go on stage.
What? No, you're fired. No, I'm joking. So we're
singers specific.
We're definitely going to go. And I've also had a couple of people. I don't like doing this because I don't like to make it about me. I did this podcast because I want to have other people, but I mean, I had some people ask, well, what about you? Like, we don't know that much about you. So I'm going to give a time. I couldn't dedicate a whole episode on me. That's just not what I'm going to do. But I will give the floor for a couple of questions because I am a musician myself. I have been for many years. So I'll give a bit more information so you guys can get to know a little bit more about me. Again, you can always write in comments questions for any artist. We will get back to you with any answer. And for myself and for Lisa, for Francesca on Let's Talk It Out. All of the above. So now, Francesca, welcome to Sessions with Stef.
I'm so thrilled.
We've heard your voice before in the podcast.
Yes.
So anyone who watches Sessions with Stef heard you, but now they get to see you live in the flesh on camera.
Blood and flesh and blood.
And I wanted to have you on the show because it's good to be informative as well. We like to joke around. We like to talk about the music business, and I like to talk about
business.
It's a business, yes. Well, it's a business, but it's a fun business, the best business ever. And I usually talk to musicians about gigs and, you know, singing stuff and guitars and all of that stuff. But I mean, one of the most important elements of a musician and an artist is what you do. You help musicians and artists and singers publicize themselves, market themselves, playlist placement. You told me that term. It's like it's stuck in my head. I do playlist placement. I was like, oh shit!
Sounds cool, huh?
It sounds so cool, and I like it.
A little bit sexy placement, playlist placement.
You put a good tune behind that playlist placement.
This is like place.
Right? And you put a little like a let's get it on kind of song. Don't playlist placement. Sorry. Okay, that's a little off topic.
Okay, we got into our own trip.
Speaking of which, and I'm going to preface it. What does playlist placement? What does it mean? I mean, what is it? Wait, but before you start explaining, I'm going to say, what is playlist placement?
Wow. It's very interesting thing to say. So
what is playlist?
Okay, so let's talk it
out. Yes, let's talk it out.
So well, I mean, it's something that fortunately or unfortunately every musician has to do now. Mm-hmm. So things have changed, and you know very well.
The game is changing.
Yes. So now your presence on social media and on internet, and you know the possibility for people to download your music, to stream your music is the thing. You know, we live in a moment like it's very hard for people to go buy compact disc.
Yeah.
We were seeing like a kind of like vintage love for vinyls that is coming back.
Yeah, I
love vinyls.
Yeah, true.
By the way, but there's also a component of an aesthetic and fetishist component about vinyls. No, let's say like that. Yeah. You know, it's also about collection.
But it's not going to sell. It's not going to make you any money.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So that's the thing. So as of now, the most important way of earning money is still live music. But we assisted with COVID. Like every live was kind of like people, like musician couldn't perform.
Yeah.
So through live, you can, sell the tickets is more, but it's about merchandise. It's about also increasing your fan base. But then at the end of the day, like where people are now listening, where are we all listening now to music? So we take our phone. It's not even like in, rarely on radio. I still listen to radio. I strongly recommend everybody to listen to radio because it's a way of discovering new artists, new musicians.
Definitely.
And we should actually encourage like the radio, because the more we listen to radio and we refer to them, the more probably the radio will be open to take and to share and to, stream new musicians and new music. I have to tell my dog just to shut up a second.
By the way, it's our mascot. Olivia's our mascot.
Olivia? No.
The noises, especially for musicians.
Yeah, it's like a grunge. So we hear it probably. I don't know, because this guy does miracle with editing.
We try.
Playlist placement. Oh wow! Ooh.
I love it.
So sexy. So it's actually what when you promote, when you present, you pitch your song to music blogs and magazines, even radio. The majority of these outlets out there now, they own their own playlist. But it's not just outlet. You have like a Spotify playlister that now became really like a thing.
So like people, when they go, they write like pop music or something.
Exactly. So you kind
of
like
get your songs on that playlist.
Exactly. So what I do usually is like, there's a long process. But let's say someone comes to me and just asks for can you do for me like playlist placement?
Playlist
And then I said that, well, let's talk it out again.
I love this.
I need to understand what musicians want in any case, but if it's just like that and you already have a strong brand and your genre is well defined, which is really helps. So what we do, like me and my team, we study your genre, we study the playlist that could actually fit your genre, because when you pitch, you want to just send the music to the right people. Otherwise, yes, of course you can send to whoever, but I mean, if you are a pop rock singer,
it's like target marketing.
Like, yeah, exactly, it's very targeted, and you have no idea of the, well, you have idea, but I mean, in general, there are literally 3,000, 1 million type of music genre that when you want to pitch like playlist is crazy. I remember, I probably already said that, but remember there was this band that was defining their song like premenstrual rock, which I don't even, like probably like fucking angry rock.
How do you call it?
Like,
Bitchy rock? What?
Yeah.
No, sorry.
So, I mean, this is too fun, but you know, what you do generally, you try to target, definitely. You target for the type of music genre, but also you target for the type of audience that you want to address. Adult contemporary, you know, so if you have a rock, classic rock, adult contemporary, that spouts into country rock, so you just want to cover all this spectrum.
Okay.
And then you pitch, you write a pitch, and then you send it to these outlets. Outlets. I say outlets because literally, like as I was saying, it could be, there are Spotify playlisters, which are literally people that have their own playlist, so you target them already, and that actually you can target them through Spotify as well. So it's very crucial to have your presence on Spotify, and there's a platform that is called Spotify for Artists, that now I think it's 1-2 years, or maybe just a little bit less, that allows musicians to pitch directly their music to the curators, while before was only through the labels.
Okay.
So you weren't allowed to pitch directly to the curators, but now you can actually pitch direct to Spotify curators. A little tip, because if you go on Spotify for Artists, it says at least pitch 7 days before the releasing date. No, pitch at least 1 month before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because these people listen to tons of music. So be smart, write your pitch, create a story behind the pitch, because you are selling kind of yourself, but you're selling your music, your story. So make it interesting. And also it's important to have an art cover that it's interesting. So you have to play with many. It's a lot of marketing.
Of course.
I mean, I think if you're a musician that just starting, just you can do by yourself. And I know it's against my profession, but I would recommend to invest very, very much in production. So invest in studio work, in the quality of the master, because this is really makes the difference. Because when you pitch the song and you send it to whoever, if it's not high quality, if it's not sound professional, no one, even if you have the best track ever, no one is gonna kind of like take it into consideration. Yeah. So invest your money first on having a great production behind, and then do it by yourself. Use this platform. Since said that I'm promoting Spotify.
You're promoting.
But anyways, there's not only Spotify. There are other playlists and other platform, Apple and others. There's YouTube channels, very strong. But in order to be on YouTube, like make sure that your video is cool, very well done. I rather go with a lyric video, very, very, very well done, than another one like a music video, like kind of cheap. Let's call it like that. So just invest on your image, which is well, I mean, the music is very important, is the first thing, but when you are pitching, kind of try to understand who you are and who you want to represent through your image, and your image is your music. So kind of like merge the two. And I spoke and I said like 3,000 million words.
But that's amazing. But so you can tell, obviously, as we listen to you speak and because my game is not what you're doing. I know nothing about it, and I'm figuring a lot of musicians don't, because the time is spent either on the studio, in the studio, or on stage. For myself, it would be that. And so you see how the time that us as musicians, as artists, we spend on our craft, on our instrument, on our voice, on our whatever it may be, our song, endless hours, tweaking this, tweaking that, tweaking this. You can't possibly do all of that. And it's all for nothing if you don't do the right marketing, if you don't brand yourself, if you don't do it right. So every artist needs a publicist. And I'm not just promoting, I'm promoting all publicists in general.
Yeah,
but
for
you
sure.
can tell the knowledge you have right here, Fearless Sounds. If we take the time into the music, you need to give people the job that are best suited for the job. So as an artist, you're best suited to make your song yours. You're best suited to work in studio. You're best suited to hire the right people. If you're not a drummer, you're not going to play drums on the track. You're going to hire a drummer.
Yeah.
If you're not a publicist, hire a publicist. If you're a singer and a songwriter, write the song. Like Francesca said, invest in the production of it.
Definitely.
And then invest in the publicist. And from what I can tell, you don't necessarily take a job and say, okay, I'm your publicist and I'm doing everything. You kind of, they can ask you for a certain part of the job, if I'm understanding. They can ask you just for playlist placement, or they can ask you.
It could be everything. Honestly, it could be
everything, or just a specific.
Yeah,
thing,
just a
right?
specific thing. That's why I like to do when someone says, "Oh, I'm interested in your services," I always ask "Okay, let's talk it out again.
What's
your need? What do you need? Sometimes they just ask for playlist placement, and other times it's just "Oh, I want to build up my social media presence. I want to make it social media is a reality." And I strongly recommend at least to have two platforms, which is Facebook and Instagram, and of course YouTube if you have quality content.
TikTok.
But Facebook is more professional, so keep it professional on the artist side. So give information about your next gigs. Now you can do, because we have COVID. Hopefully,
thank God. Now we can type stuff
but
in.
it's more formal. Give information about your gigs and stuff. So it's more share your professional photos and stuff. Well, for Instagram, it's more about connection and connecting with the people, your fans. So just post about, I don't know, the things you care. Let people get to know yourself. So I always say, if you want to create a social media presence, just start with these two platforms, make them strong, and also kind of grow them throughout. When you go to gigs, there are 3 million tips that you could use. I don't know, when you sell merch, you can always put some, pay very, very basically, some papers with all your social media contact. Or you can use even a code and have everybody scanning and automatically downloading your song, your next single. So there are many things. And, you always look there are many, many, many smart artists out there, maybe supported, let's hope, by very smart publicists.
That's exactly what it is.
So, and they have now literally there are many, many, many ways in which you can promote yourself, Always look, and also I always recommend, when you want to increase your fan base and just to grow yourself artistically and as a presence in fan base, just have in mind who is the artist closest to you, the one, let's say, not super, super famous, but the one that does your genre, that has I don't know, 1 million followers, and see who is following and follow them as well. So, and reshare other artists' content in order to be shared, so their fans maybe is gonna follow you. These are only it requires a lot of attention. So that's why a publicist is at a certain level, at a certain point, when you decide that really this is what you want to do, I recommend to take someone who is serious. I'm serious, but it doesn't necessarily have to be me, of course.
Yeah,
but I mean, there are serious professionals that do that. But recently, about playlist placement. There were some kind of concerns, because you go and there are many services that says, 10,000 streaming, $250.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so these are all I don't want to say, but it's kind of like
scam.
these are fakes, because I mean, how you can get 10,000 streaming in 2 days? Like, this is fake. Like, not even.
Fake, of course.
So
and you know what? YouTube, they know.
But also Spotify, it was a very bad, like I think 2 years ago, 1 year ago, they shut down, like they took off from their platform so many artists that voluntarily or involuntarily, because I mean, who can,
Who knows?
maybe you say, oh, cool, I'm going to pay, so I get the service also, because they're very publicized. So how do you know? And then they were blocked, that are pushed out from Spotify, and this is a huge damage when you don't have anymore the platform that everybody is listening to.
God.
So it's very, very hard. So be careful. Let's go steady, and
Slow and steady
slow
wins the
and
race.
steady, of course, always, and build your fan base. And first thing, go play live. This is the thing.
I think that's the most important.
Yeah,
Yay.
because
the one thing that hasn't changed in the past 20
and
years.
I love that. I really love it. I also write for Montreal Rocks, as you well know.
Yes, I know that.
So I love when I go to see shows and gigs, because you have the chance to discover. I love opening act.
Yeah.
Because I remember
They're
saw.
trying to make it, so you see.
Yeah,
that,
but I'm so happy. For example, like I saw Big Rack. It was the end of 2019, so pre-COVID, and there was the opening act was Texas King. So Texas, and I love them. Honestly, I love Big Rack. You guys are amazing. But I have to say that concert who really like captured myself was definitely Texas King.
Okay.
The guys were super nice. We took pictures, blah, blah, blah. And then now Texas King are passed through Chom to other radio. And I'm so, so happy.
Wow.
Singles happened with the Bluestones, which I interviewed for Montreal Rocks too. And they started as opening act, and now there's been more. They've been nominated at the Juno, so
Wow.
2 years ago. So I mean, the guys are going strong. It's great,
I'm
And
glad at least that the gigging, some of the old
or
stuff.
Canadians, by the way.
It's funny when I started years ago, when we were doing band weddings and corporate, we would take our business card and put it on every table.
This is smart, actually.
Every table you would put 2 or 3 in different, so that whoever's sitting at the table would see it and hopefully take it. And it's good that still remained 20 years later. Like you go to a bar, what you said is write your Instagram information on a little piece of paper, business card, leave it on the table.
Yeah, you put it
People
inside the T-shirt,
Right,
whatever,
and-
inside the
yeah.
merch, and make it the merch with already printed, like on the back something. Like since you're already printing something, it won't
And that's the
cost
thing.
more.
As an artist, as a musician, when I have a show coming up, I'm not thinking of that. I'm thinking about, man, I gotta hit this shot, this punch, this part. Yeah, that's
Also
while I'm
that
playing,
after.
That's after. No, but I want to nail this song. This song is gonna have punch. I'm thinking of the set list. How can I, grab the crowd and keep them there? If I do it this way, what if I put a ballad? I'm thinking of 10 million things of me on stage, or how the band's gonna sound good, or how I'm gonna sell this. I'm not thinking about how to grow my Instagrammers. Or
You shouldn't
whatever
think
it is.
about that. That's why there is people
Exactly.
like
But nowadays, everyone thinks they can do it on their own.
Yeah, but as I said, like it depends also, because I'm aware there is it's an investment of money. And as I said, again, invest in your production. The master is like the key. The quality of music. Music is always the key, We can say that in life also.
Yeah.
But I mean, in general, music is the key. Then you build up on that. Another thing that is fundamental, and I see that is this a little bit more harder, but it's key, is branding, personal branding. So a band to make, and it's still my dog that's trying to make her
I'm
point.
like, where's the dog? Because I hear.
No, vai da Lisa. So this is the beauty of kind of like the right. But one thing that is very important is to have a clear image about who you are, like as a band or as a single, So as a single person.
Yeah.
So let's say like if you are like, give yourself, you don't have to fall into cliche, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, create your own image and reflect this image in everything you do. So on the stage, when you perform, on the studio, when you record, on the artwork of your CD, vinyl, whatever.
Make it you.
On the t-shirt and merch that you're gonna sell and everything that you do. So this is very important because, lots of people, we tend to be very visual now. So maybe they at the beginning they want to remember your music, but they would remember, yeah, that's cool with the coatish. You want people to remember you, and then to grow your fan base, and you make your fan base grow through gigs, and then pushing your social media presence and pushing that presence live out there. So you have to take that and promote and promote and promote. So that's why we use strategies, marketing strategies. We do marketing campaign for singles, album, and stuff like that. There's a strategies and a campaign. So I always recommend, if you have to release your single, to start a campaign. Well, in a perfect world, you should start 4 months, 6 months before, but let's say at least you have to start sending out things at least 3-4 weeks before the release, because you will be covered, you will get coverage before and after it usually is 2-3 weeks, but create contents around that single. So an acoustic version, a lyric video, blah blah blah, many things that you can release again and again and again. Content that you could release,
How important is content?
A lot. Content is everything.
And is it steady? Does it have to be steady content?
Well, steady means I don't know, for example, I have an album I want to release. I never recommend to release the entire album together, but let's say at least to release 5 singles, because this is gonna cover 1 year.
So different, eh?
1 year out there,
Isn't it so different than the way, I don't know, I grew up with.
Yeah, before was one single the album. And then the album.
If you got the single before. It was true. Album, and then what's the first song off the album they're going to release? Yeah. Right? And it's then they would go on tour to sell the album.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So now it's different. It's definitely different. So
no, it is. It's they would tour for almost nothing.
Yeah.
But hopefully the people in the bar, venue, whatever it is, like it and go buy the CD, and that's where the money was made.
Yeah.
Now it's completely what? The album, you're still recording?
No, that's
but
true.
But I released 3 songs. I'm okay.
But be ready to have the contents before, because where you were saying steady, yes, the content should be steady. So for example, release a single after 1 month, 1 month and a half maximum. I'm expecting you to release another, and then have content for that single. So you have the version, the official version, then you can have an acoustic version, then you can release the video, then you can, I don't know, have a lyric video.
Do a podcast.
Well, this is but could be many other things, It could
one of my guests,
photo shoot.
One of my guests, which was great. It happened that she was releasing her album, not her album,
Melina, no?
Melina, her single, and she performed on sessions with Stef. And she used that video as content.
Yeah.
And it was smart. I was like, hey, good,
No, these are smart ideas. So make yourself creative for sure. This is very important. And as I said, put the money where the money counts. And then once you start to grow, just, rely on professionals that take the time also to discuss with you about your brand. What do you want? For me, I always ask, what do you want?
What's your goal?
What's your goal? What do you want to obtain? I want to have fans. I want to increase my fan base. I want to strengthen my brand. I want to playlist placement. I want to, this is the thing. And then just trust people who also are available for you. This is important. I make myself available for the people. We did a podcast with Lisa, and we interviewed some. You will see who. Yeah. And he was saying that he makes himself available to, and this is very important. Don't trust the people makes you pay lots of money, and then just give you a number. I always ask also for a report. Possibly a weekly report.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I always prepare for my client a weekly or bi-weekly report in which I give them all the list of the outlet I contacted, and that includes the one that accepted the song and with the links and everyone.
Because it's one of those businesses that you can just say, oh my God, I sent out 400 emails. You don't even have to. You could have sent out one.
Yeah.
Like, and you could quote unquote lie about, yeah, no one bit, you know, and then you're like, oh my God, does my music suck? And I don't want to say there's scammers in the world, but there are.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Everybody's I don't know, everybody's a DJ, could be a publicist, everybody's a rock star, everybody is everything because everybody thinks everything's easy. I noticed that, you know, I'm a musician, whatever, but we started doing this podcast, and your podcast and my podcast, it's not easy.
No.
It's everything looks easy from the outside. Once you're in, you're like, oh, what, 2 hours to set up a 1 hour podcast? That doesn't make sense. But that's the reality because there's so many details. And publicist is something that you need, like you said, if you give that report, already you're better than 300 million other publicists. Because I'm sure people, as they get bigger, they do less because they feel like they're, you know, this one's never going to get anyone, but they're taking your money.
Yeah, that's why I always have a talk with the person and also feel it and just ask if they grant you I'm gonna give you for sure thought coverage as like
already bullshit.
Yeah, because it's true that I have my contact, so I know that I can count on people but that's because I don't say yes to everyone. On the one hand, because if I'm too busy, I cannot take properly care. So I rather say no and maybe wait for a better time instead of, not being completely available and to do my work at the level that I want, also because people are paying me. So and on the other end, I spouse the project that I love, so this makes, and in my mind I have my contacts, so I know already who I can kind of content, and I know that I have more chance that this release could be covered. But I won't ever, this is something that I always tell, that I said I cannot guarantee you that anyone will kind of cover your music. I can tell you that I have contacts, and I can tell you that I'm gonna target this contacts and blah blah blah, but already if they say something like that, it's not serious, because that probably is a pay to or something.
One of those, pay for a spot for playlist placement,
playlist placement, exactly.
In 1 week,
there are services online actually through which you can kind of contact music blogs, but this is recognized as Submit Hub, these things, so you kind of submit your music to these platforms, and you pay sometimes $1-2, but you don't pay these people, you pay the service to connect with these people, and sometimes they refuse you, they give you feedback, but it's a way to because right now in order also to screamare, how do you say? Scremare, yes, which means to scan, to make sure, to make a selection, to filter. Thanks, because in Italian it's scremare, so that's why I was screaming. Screaming doesn't mean so.
I was
to make make a selection, and you were saying the verb is to make a selection or to filter this music. Sometimes you can they make you pay $1-2, and then at least they're going to listen to it and then do it. So this is another thing, if you are an artist, a single artist, there are some platforms out there that you can use to contact directly this outlet, so this could be useful.
Well, I have an idea right now, okay, and this just came to me. I hope you're not going to kill me for this, but we're opening a platform here, right here on set. This is live. I didn't think about it. I might get shit. She might say at the end about what the fuck were you thinking? But on Sessions with Stef, if you subscribe or you go follow us on Apple Music or any of the above, you can share. You can do whatever you want, but just subscribe. If you have any questions, I will filter them, but I will ask any questions in terms of informative questions. If you want to know something, what's the single most important, if you're releasing a song, you want to know where should I put my time or whatever, ask us on Sessions with Stef. Send a message. I will contact Francesca and I will ask her that question. I'll get back to you, but you have to subscribe. That's the first
Yes.
thing. Now I'm not going to give you Francesca's services for free to publicize you.
Yeah,
all
but
over the place.
I won't mind whatever the question you guys have. Absolutely.
Yeah, like it's we want to create a group here of.
And I'm telling something that now Stefan is gonna hate me.
I love this. This is good. I
Now
deserve
it's
it.
like-
This is good.
We're gonna create a Spotify playlist, and
Ooh.
you guys, you musician out there,
Who wants
Ev-
to be on the playlist?
yes. So we already have all your guests that you've been having. So we're gonna
True.
share their music on your playlist, and then out there, just go tag a musician, send us, and then we're gonna include send them.
Why would I get mad at you? You just created more work for you because I don't even know where to start that. But
You're gonna
that is a
do it.
fantastic idea.
But I think it's because what you're doing is great for local musician, but on not only locals, it's open up. But I mean, create your own like Spotify playlist.
So all our guests, we create a Spotify.
Yeah,
Can that go
exactly.
on Apple Music as well?
Yeah, why not?
So we okay, and you can handle that. Well, like I can get all the music.
Okay. But what we do, we create our Spotify playlist that will input like the single and the music of all your guests,
Mm-hmm.
and then we add like the ones that you guys out there are suggesting to us. So go on Facebook, tag a musician, send us their link, then we're gonna listen to it and we're gonna include in your
The playlist. That is, and what do we call the playlist?
Session with Stef.
Sessions. Oh fuck, I love this. See, a marketing genius right here. You see? And I got that for free. No, this is great, guys. It's a great idea. I'm gonna definitely work on that. I'm gonna go back and look at all the guests who have released songs, and we're gonna create this playlist. And you have to subscribe, like, share, and of course we have the questions too. You can send them to me. Sessions with Stef on Facebook. Or YouTube, you can write it in the comments, whatever you like.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can anything you want, not a problem.
Tag a friend, tag a musician
tag a musician, and this is for everybody too. If you have a
Yeah,
question
yeah.
about life, don't call me.
No, don't call him. But
And now, the part I didn't want to do, but I'm gonna do it
because
anyways.
now the spotlight is here.
Well, kinda, because I'm gonna switch it up. I'd like to ask Lisa to join us here. We are gonna have the fabulous trio of. Actually, we did a Let's Talk It Out podcast last week. It's coming out it's going to already be out. But if you go back and check out Let's Talk It Out, one of the podcasts,
The craziest one.
it's the craziest one ever. It's going to be titled Craziest Podcast Ever because it is so off the wall. And it was basically the three of us talking about fucking nonsense. But I just want to preface all of this. Lisa's going to come on here. We are going to do the first thought game. I couldn't do the show Sessions with Stef without first thought. It's been on every episode. I need to have it on. But I did speak to Lisa. Francesca, if you think of any questions as well.
Of course.
And I said, Lisa, don't tell me what the questions are. I want you just to ask me because she's heard every episode and so has Francesca. So I want you guys to ask me. I want to be blindsided with these questions. In terms of informative, I just want to give people an idea of what I have done, which is not much.
Put the silky.
Yeah, it's not much, but I've done gigs, and so I can definitely talk about that. And then we're gonna play with first thought, which I do not know the questions as well because it wouldn't be fair if I knew the questions, right? So welcome, Lisa. Thank you for.
It's huge. That's not what he said.
That's what she said. Yes. And by the way, Francesca, now you're going to hate me, but one day you are going to come as a musician on the podcast as well.
Yes, now I'm gonna hate him.
Would you? Like, would you like to just come and do a song?
Well, I have maybe why not? I know
would?
it's been a while, but I have the project still there. Besides, kind of taking
I
my
think
dog.
you should
and-
write a song with the dog sound
Exactly.
in between.
Yeah, why not? Why not? But I'm going to bring the serious musician with me. who's
Yeah,
gonna
of course.
play.
Well, you're a singer, by the way. Besides being a publicist and a writer, she's a singer as well. So
Yeah, I'm pretending to, but
you know what?
I enjoy myself doing that and
Singing
trying to
is
play
singing.
guitar.
Singing is singing, whether it be in the shower or not. It doesn't matter. It's still singing.
Sing in the car.
And it
lot.
comes from and we know it comes from a place within, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you take the art seriously. So Fantastic. Lisa, how's it going there? You ready?
I'm very good.
Okay. So once again, I am not ready for any of these questions.
Great.
Oh, we're doing the first thought questions?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
We're doing, I just wanted to give people a little idea of what I've done, I guess, because I always interview the other musicians. I want to give people an idea of what I do. And I don't know if I can interest them in fucking subscribing more. I'm into that, you know?
Okay. So my first question is, what first got you into music?
Oh, well, that's pretty simple. So, I mean, I'll give you a little breakdown.
Yep.
My dad's a music teacher. So my dad came from Italy, and at the young age, I think he was 15, 16, he started, my dad studied accordion. And actually, he went to University of Toronto. He took, I believe it was the University of Toronto. And he studied music. He studied theory, harmony, and accordion was his instrument. It was his main instrument. And I mean, I have newspaper clippings back in the old days of my dad competitions. And I have to say, he was a phenomenal musician. I mean, so he developed a school, and he taught not only accordion, but he taught drums, he taught piano, he taught guitar, he taught guitar, organ.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
And this was all, I mean, he did it for years at an office or whatever, but then after he had us, he had a little home office where he taught, and he honestly taught from every night from 6 o'clock till 10 o'clock, half-hour lessons every night, Monday to Friday, Saturdays 9 to 5, half-hour lessons, Sundays 9 to 1.
Holy Toledo.
So in the home office, oh, this is hilarious.
Sierra.
Let's get the, hey, come here, Olivia, because that will drive a musician crazy.
It's like,
Oh my God, that's crazy. So yeah, my dad taught music. He had a bunch of students. Accordion was his main, I mean, he was known for it. He was fantastic at it, to the point where he used to have concerts in a big venue of 300-400 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to take that away from the dog, because I'll die if that happens.
Yes, take it off. Take it away.
So he used to do concerts where, because his accordion was his main instrument, he used to, and he would do this once a year, 12 accordionists on stage. He used to take concertos and rewrite them for accordions. Mm-hmm. So he would have 4 playing the bass parts, 4 doing the harmonies, 4 doing the melodies, and he would rewrite all these concertos. And he would have a 2-hour concert once a year, and it would sell out every year.
Oh, nice.
And so it was his students. He would use his students, right? And then he'd have like some of the, I played one as a duet with a girl. I'll never forget. I think I must have been 10 years old. One of his students was 10 playing accordion. And so me and her did a duet in harmony and on the accordion in this concert. And he did this every year. So I grew up, I mean, in the music business, and I have an older brother. And so, when I saw him in high school, his career was taking off musically. So that always piqued an interest. But I played soccer, so I was kind of doing both. But soccer was always first as a kid. Yeah. I always did the music, but it was like, okay, let me go practice. Not really wanting to, but I knew that if my dad was going to give me a lesson and I wasn't ready, he'd kick my ass. So I would kind of like, oh, let me do this scales. And then at the age of 17, 16 is when it hit me. Like, I had been playing for years, but then at 16, 17, I said, oh, I fucking love this shit. And then I dug in and I went for it. So, yeah.
Why piano?
So I started on the accordion.
Okay.
And I did about 3 years before I switched onto the piano. And so, yes, I do know how to play accordion. Then I switched to the piano. I went to McGill. I did the conservatory exams every year. And then in my crazy age, I went to drums later on, because I'm that stupid to switch.
For Latin, for your passion for Latin music, no?
You know what? No, I played drums first.
Okay.
I went to drums because I always had an affinity. I would be on stage, and I guess by playing so much, sometimes we repeat the same songs, and I would go on autopilot.
Okay.
And then to get inspired, I'd be listening to the drummer. And then I used to dissect songs all the time. I would sit and take a song I liked
and listen to the different instruments.
Just the bass part, just the guitar, and drums was the first one I would always go to. And I would remember. And then I figured out the math. Like, okay, that sound is the bass drum. And drumming is self-taught. I mean, I did take lessons after I said, let me do it professionally. So I was piano player in the band, and the drummer left, and we were 2 piano players because I was with my brother. And I said, you know what? The drummer left. Fuck, we're 2 keyboard players. Let me play drums. And my brother looked at me and said, what? I said, give me a month. I went, I bought a drum set, and then I took courses at that point. But never courses. I just took lessons with this guy, that guy, because I was already playing. So I knew a lot of good drummers. And I sat and learned a couple of different things. But I knew the songs already, so it was easier for me. I knew the whole repertoire. And then I just started playing gigs on drums. And I loved that too. So, yeah, that's
something I always wanted to try, drums, you know?
Is so much fun.
Like literally,
It's
I've
fun.
been always be obsessed with guitars. But then like when I listen to a song, it's like,
The backbeat.
yeah,
So-
it's
beat.
like
I
the
love
beat.
it.
So I should try sometimes.
Yeah,
Maybe,
but then
who
when it
knows?
comes to setting up and all of
Yeah,
that.
I know, it's
fu-
crazy. Yeah.
I used to
Also,
play keyboards, right? I'd bring my... I know you. I
Where,
still
where
play.
do I put like a drum set?
So the
here?
first 10 years of my career, I was playing piano. So I would bring my keyboard and, put it on the stand.
That was cool.
Ready to go. I want to be a drummer. Fuck, I'm the last guy. This stand and this nut and this thing and
That's
this
true.
cymbal. And oh my God, for years. But whatever, you enjoy it. So it's all worth it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's how I started. My dad was an influence, of course. My household, my grandfather was living with me, and he would go sit outside the office, and he would know which student was really good at the accordion. My grandfather loved the accordion. He would sit outside the office and listen to that student. So every Tuesday, he knew at 8 that guy would be there, and he would leave that the living room and go next to the office and listen. And he would call me, Stef, listen to this guy. Listen to how he plays this. So yeah, my dad, and then my brother, of course, because he was older and he was playing in different bands, so I got involved at that point.
And best band when you were in your 15. What's the band that kind of like
Oh, good question.
informed you
So-
like it impressed you from?
That's a good question because I like tons of music and I always did. In high school, I have to say, rock was a big part of it. I always liked funk and all. I liked everything. Rock was a big part of it because you're in high school and all your buddies like rock. And I fell into the band Extreme.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That More Than Words song was cool.
More than words.
But that was, I heard that song and I was like, oh, that's a good song. Wow, the harmonies are beautiful. The guitar playing's great. And then I started researching Nuno.
Yeah.
And he's a phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah.
And then I listened to, another song and I was like, wait a minute, and they're pretty heavy. They're heavy. They play rock.
And that song was kind of like out of the,
Yeah, it was out of their norm. And then I'm like, ooh, wow, crazy vocals. I hear bass player's a monster. He's a disaster. And then vocals coming out of everywhere. And I was like, whoa, I kind of like this. So I got into them. And I'd have to say in high school, they were the band for me. Yeah. Weird. It's weird.
Cool.
It's weird.
And the band that like lots of people loved and you hated the most.
Ooh, good question.
Like everybody, oh my god, hey, did you do like
Oh wow, that's that I hated the most. That's a very good question. I'm gonna have to go. Well, there's bands that I hated more. I'm gonna get slack for this. Nirvana. Not that I hated them. I didn't at that age. I didn't see their creativity because I
Okay.
was 14,
Yeah,
15
for
years
sure.
old. So I was like, yeah, drummer's good. Yeah, bass player's good.
they were okay, like at
We're
the
okay.
time.
Yeah, at the time. And I'm listening to Extreme. And remember, my brother's a musician as
So
well.
you
So
have,
I'm
like-
listening to, these monster piano players, David Weckl, and these, crazy drummers, Stevie Wonder,
Yeah.
like amazing in terms of music. And Nirvana was, I'm like, what's the rave? Like,
That
they're-
kids playing.
it sounds like a garage band back then.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, okay. It's not that I didn't like Smells Like Teen Spirit. I at parties I would go crazy to it, but I was like, oh, I don't see the crazy obsession. But, in my later years,
Yes.
as I matured, I was like, oh yeah. No. They had something. Oh, I see what they liked in the drummer. I see what Kurt Cobain gave to the band and his energy and his lyrics. And even though I'm not a big lyricist, but I see what it was, And so I'd have to say there's probably even the Beatles at the beginning. When I was a kid, I was like, my mom was like, the Beatles are amazing. What? It's 3 chords. It's 3 chords. I could play that in my sleep, not knowing. I wasn't mature enough to say what. No. Listen to these songs. Listen to Eleanor Rigby. Listen to the chord changes. Listen
I
to
think it was also groundbreaking I think it was groundbreaking also.
It was
because of
the look was groundbreaking.
The era of where they were doing, so they were literally
But
producing something new,
melodic,
unique.
but melodically, no one comes close to that shit. That's those melodies. They fucking they go in there and they're not coming out. Like it's And the way they did their melodies and they harmonized at the right points. They'll take a line and harmonize just one word of it, and it's like I don't know. Every song sticks to you. It's genius. It really they took simplicity, and their genius is about I want to say simplicity. They weren't simple, but.
Yeah, but
The songwriting wasn't simple. The playing was okay. I mean, it's not, wow, I didn't freak out. Like Ray Charles is a piano player. They were good, but I'd have to say as a kid, I didn't understand it yet. So I would say, what's the big thing about them?
I think part of their characters and their lyrics. Each
100%.
one has a unique character, and
100%.
I think,
and branding.
I love
you
Lennon.
said, like you said, branding.
The branding for them
It's
was
important because they developed a sound, a style, a look.
Yeah.
That is emulated today, So yeah, fantastic.
But the Nirvana too, like the branding.
100%. Yeah, but you don't see it
hard.
then. You're like, what's the rave? It's kind of like, I don't know, like Drake. Let's say to me, it's a zero, but not that he's a zero. I don't
like him.
I don't like him either.
Do you
but
like
I don't
Drake?
see.
You like Drake?
I don't see the appeal. But you know what?
The
probably
Weeknd is good.
The Weeknd is good, yeah. But probably in 20 years, people are going to look
for
at Drake
sure.
and say, no, he had his own thing.
Yeah, could be.
you
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
So, but that's maturity, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's...
So what would you be doing if you did not have a music career?
Oh, why are you asking that?
Because it's a tough
Soccer
question.
player.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, except for the talent part. Actually, I played very high level of soccer. I played AAA. Yeah, my whole life I was in the AAA category, but that means nothing. But what would I do? Oh, my God, I can't answer that. I mean, it would have to be in the music business. I think.
Publicist.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Manager.
No. I like technical things. Like I like to. I fell in love with editing now. I don't know how to edit. I never took a course, but I edit this podcast and I have fun with it. Like I see myself wanting to go on the computer to get that done. So, and video, photography, video, I kind of like that. I don't know. I can't say. I think it would have to do with either sports, because I really enjoy sports as well, or music. Yeah. I'm that kind of guy. I'm not much of an accountant. Fucking, it's not gonna happen. Well, I mean, I'm actually pretty decent in accounting and financing and shit like that. But it's like if I have to.
Perfect,
Oh my
I'm
God!
gonna
I'm
call
so
you.
looking forward to taking your books and fucking burning them. That would make me happy, but not crunching numbers. Yeah.
And what was your child dream?
My child.
To be who? What you wanted to be?
Who? So at a younger age, of course, it was soccer. But then, that whole rock star. I don't want to say rock star. That whole touring musician. I never looked at it like I want to be, Elvis or whatever. I wanted to be. I always had in my head, being on stage. That wherever it may be. If there's a crowd, I liked it. I wanted to be in front.
Okay.
And I did that at weddings too. It was weird. I joined the band and all of a sudden I'm grabbing the mic. I would be playing and then I would grab the mic and I would make people jump and, get the crowd following me. Cause I don't know. I guess I kind of like the center. Like
Center of
the
attention?
of attention.
You're an attention whore.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There you
That's
go.
the simplified version. Yes.
So this I find is a hard one. If you can change anything in the music industry, what would it be?
Oh, there's a lot there. The internet kind of is amazing for the industry, but it also kind of hurt it to a degree where I feel years ago, okay, I'm going to use Paul McCartney as an example. Paul McCartney is a guy who comes on. He's fantastic. He's a genius. But he comes on and says, I know nothing about music. Whatever sounds good is what I play. And obviously he had the right formula because it worked.
Yeah, he could say that.
He can.
Right,
He
he
can
can
afford
say
it.
that.
Yeah.
But I don't like fakes. I enjoy garage players. Like I enjoy players that do it and learn. And I don't want to see you have to go to school for music. You don't. But you need to inform yourself. I don't like the guys who take a YouTube channel, study a song because they showed you, okay, press this, press that, press this. And they do that 150 million times. And then they can play that song perfectly. And then they post a video and it goes viral because they can play that one song. It drives me crazy because it's like you're cheating the system. And it's... If you learn because of that YouTube channel how to play guitar or tablature, and that's what gets you, then I love it. If you're just learning it with that and then you don't want to expand your horizon, I don't need to learn. I'm playing already. I've been playing for many years.
How many years in total?
I was 15 and I played my first wedding because my brother was in the band. He was playing weddings and he needed a sub. So he was in the wedding party, so he couldn't play half the wedding. So I learned at 15. But before then, I was on stage playing accordion and doing piano concerts for sure. So yeah, I was already playing at that age. And then by 17, I was already in a band. So I was gigging already at 17. For sure, yeah. I was gigging at 17 and I did gigs at 16, 15. At the age of 18, I was playing in a restaurant regularly every weekend.
So
alone.
cool.
Alone. Instrumental. It was funny. I would be playing in a restaurant, just piano. I would have tracks, but I would play the melodies and the chords. And then the singer would come out. And now I was 17 years old. I'm sorry, the singer. The chef would come out and he thought he was a singer. Well, he was okay. But he would bring a glass of wine, that big. By the second song, he'd be hammered and slurring his words. But I'd be playing the music and he would sing. And the hardest part was not laughing. But I was 17 years old already doing that. So
cool.
Yeah, so I was officially gigging at 17. I was paid to play by 16 years old, 17 years old. I was already paid to play gigs. So I don't know if that's professionally. I probably wasn't a professional at that point. But I was getting paid to play. Not all the time, but I had...
Yeah, but these makes you a professional.
Yeah, I got my own gigs with friends of mine. We had a rock band. And then that rock band, I transitioned to do different parties, communions, and confirmations. And we were getting paid. Not crazy prices, but still, I was making money, at that age. So I kind of went to college. Dawson, it lasted fucking 3 months because back then it was... No, don't go into music. You already know it.
Yeah.
You already went to the conservatory. So, it was like, get a job and, you can always do music. So I went into accounting, finance. That's like 3 months. And I was like, yeah, no. And I'd be in the course and I'd be writing my set list for Saturday. I want to play this. I want to play that. I want to do this arrangement. And so, yeah, that's where I was headed with that. I shouldn't have went to school for that. But hey, I guess education is knowledge. Knowledge is power. But yeah, I started at that age.
But knowledge is power, like
it
music. But knowledge, everything is knowledge. Everything that
true.
you know,
True.
and you develop, and then you possess at a certain point.
Unfortunately, I retained.
Knowledge.
I took finance, and it was 3 months. Like I did only 3 months of it, and then I stopped. But in those 3 months, I learned quite a bit. Like the things that I retain, which actually pisses me off because I don't want to retain it. But I mean, I got the fundamentals of taxes and how it works. And I remember it now and it pisses me off because it's like, I don't want to use my brain I don't want to know how do I, the percentage or the tax rate of this provincial tax or that. But I know it because I learned it in those 3 months and I retained it, which is even scarier. But I did retain it, and it bothers me that I retained it because I'd rather retain other information than that.
But you can retain us. I'm sure you retain also other information.
Yeah, I have a, I don't want to say a gift. It's definitely not a gift, but for some reason, anything with numbers and music, I kind of remember.
But notes are some sort of.
They help you with
numbers, no?
mathematics too.
It does, yeah. So I can remember numbers, like when I said the sponsor's phone number.
Yeah.
That's
That was weird.
like I can tell you.
Sorry.
I can tell you my credit card numbers, all of it. I can tell
Yeah,
you.
where are they?
519 0612.
No, I don't think you should be
50.
saying it online.
I'm not going to finish that. Yeah. But I can tell you my bank account number, the whole thing.
Yeah,
I can, I know them, and I have like, the
Guys,
business
take
account,
note.
the business account, right? And I know them all off.
Really, huh?
Just, I don't know. I could remember songs.
Rain Man.
Yeah, no, but not everything.
Yes.
Because ask me someone's birthday, zero.
I won't even attempt because
Don't
I
even-
know.
songs I can remember. I'd be playing drums on gigs, and sometimes we'd have like a sub or whatever, and the bass player would get lost, so I'd hear it right away. And bass player's always next to the drummer, so I'm playing drums, and because I used to play keyboards, and it's probably 6 years I haven't played that song, and I'm like A minor, no C, F, and the guy's like, he's playing, and he's like, why the fuck does the drummer know the chords of the song, right? And I just remember them. And at one point, I was heavy in drums. I didn't play keyboards for years. And I would, get on the keyboard. And then all of a sudden, some Italian obscure melody would come out. Like, I don't know, a Maltese polka, which is a song. And I just remember that melody. I would just go and play it. Like, just, I remembered.
So
I
cool.
retained it. I don't know why. It just did. So I was lucky for that. But then other stuff, zero, nada. So, and another problem, if I learn the song with the music, like I'll read a music sheet or I'll learn it by ear. But if I write it and I use the music sheet the first time, I kind of never remember that song. I never remember. I always need it. I feel like it's a crutch. I need that chart. And if I don't, like I probably know 500 songs, all the chords in my head. But if I use the chart for that one song, I feel like I need it. It's weird. Like, why?
Because you had it there to begin with, so you can
I guess it's
stiffy on it. You rely.
I guess I rely on it.
Yeah.
It's like lyrics. I probably know the lyrics to the songs, but if I use the lyrics once, I always need it.
Yeah.
It's weird. It pisses
It's
me
normal.
off.
That's a normal
It's
reaction.
not. It's stupid.
It is.
Because I can remember 100 songs. Why can't I remember that one song?
Because you used a reference, and that's what you've
Piss me
relied
off.
yourself.
Anyway. How are we doing with time? Oh, okay. Well, we have a bit more time, and not too much, and then we'll get into the game. Any crazy questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
oh.
Okay, go.
So I'm stealing a question from my colleague at Montreal Rocks, but I really love that. So, what if you have to create a band, picking from the famous musicians?
Oh shit, that's
That's
a
a good song.
really,
It's good.
really good question.
Because in this time I don't have I know my colleague very well, but I don't
Yeah.
have the name of this colleague. But we're gonna let it
Okay.
because this is this question.
So
But Montreal Rocks on.
I'm gonna say that I'm the first person to say music is subjective. To me, there is no best drummer, there is no best guitar player, and I look at someone weird when they say that's the best drummer in the world. No,
That's
according
my
to
favorite.
you, he's one of the top. He'll make any top 10 list. I can agree with that, but it depends because every best drummer or guitar player is probably good for that song or for that feel or for that. If you ask me a best drummer, I can't tell you best drummer, but if I'm playing a shuffle, I want Jeff Porcaro from Toto to play that shuffle because his feel on a shuffle is fantastic. If I'm playing a grunge tune, I want Taylor Hawkins, let's
Yeah.
say,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So I'm that kind of guy. If I have to put a band together,
The dream band.
the dream band, depending on the style of music. So that's my problem is I like so many styles
Yeah.
of music. So if I'm going in a funky musician, because I like a lot of Latin music, I don't know if
Yeah.
I love salsa, so that's a separate, because it's like kind of, you can't get the same musicians on that. But if we're playing like pop or funk or, dancey stuff or anything rock, let's say, David Weckl is phenomenal, but I think Jeff Porcaro in terms of feel was my guy. Bass. John Patitucci's always he's a strong, phenomenal. Depending on the song I'm going with, I'd like to maybe go with, I like Flea style.
Okay.
I really like Flea, his style, but it depends the tune. But I think he would be quite monstrous. Guitar, I gotta go Nuno because Nuno is Nuno. As a keyboard player, I love Stevie Wonder. I really love Stevie Wonder. There's a guy I like, Michel Camillo, who's holy shit. I've always been a big fan of Freddie Mercury. But I can name you 5 million others.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I can, like Tower of Power, their horn section in the back. I see that smoking. Yeah, there's, I mean, Todd Suckerman, the drummer. There's so many. I could just keep on going naming names, but those are guys that stick out to me. I would have to say I really like Nuno Bettencourt for guitar. I think that's the one constant. I really like his feel. He can play an acoustic and electric. He can make it rock. He played with Rihanna. He toured as the guitar player with Rihanna. Yeah, and then he played Extreme. And then, I think
that's cool.
That's pretty cool. That's a good question.
It's not mine. It just
It doesn't matter. It's now it is.
So this is going to take some thought.
Uh-oh.
What does being a musician mean to you or represent to you?
Is that so sad? Like,
What?
In terms of life?
In terms of who you are as a person.
Oh,
What does it represent for you? The craft that you do, the music that you produce.
Well, what does it mean to me? For me, I look at everything as a team. So I love my style of music. I love players. Like, I like a guy who can show off and solo. Bless you. Gesundheit. I love, like, I can look at, a monster musician or a monster singer or a monster guitar, anything. And I admire what they do. Like, you take a shredder on the guitar, and I admire the fact that he can play 5,000 notes. I love that. It's like, wow. But to me, if he takes that and puts it in a song, I kind of lose a little bit of respect to a degree where I say music is about a team. It's a team sport, and you all got to pull on cylinders. So if I'm going to get an amazing bass player, but he's just going to blow because he's an amazing bass player, to me, he's not wrecking the song, but
I understand. You don't like prima donnas.
it's not even a prima donna thing. It's music is about everyone coming together to making a song sound good. So if you're gonna solo for the song is not going to be perfected if you're just soloing for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If a chord is written with a melody because it's beautiful, but if you decided to hit 7 notes because you can in that chord, if the bass player is sometimes just hitting that one note is the beauty of that. So, but if you're going to come in there and be the bass player and go, you're going to ruin the beauty of that chord. And you don't have to just because you can. But when it comes time, hey, we're going to add 6 bars, it's open. Feel free to do your thing. Then you go and do your thing.
Yeah.
To me, that's, he had the respect, he had the knowledge, and he had the love of music to play simple, be on time, and when it's time to shine, And it's like a singer. I feel the same way about a singer.
Yeah.
There's some singers that just don't do it for me. Not because they're not good, because they're phenomenal. Like, okay, Christina Aguilera now is phenomenal. But in the beginning ages, I saw the non-maturity. Why? Because for me, a singer is not someone who gets to the stage, grabs the mic, and just because you can hit every note in the world, if you're just going, and because you can, showing off all the licks, to me, you're not building a song. It's like a story, right? If you're writing a story, you don't just write the punchline.
Yeah.
To me, you take a song and you start off cool. It's all about the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then the intensity builds. The band builds it together with the singer. And then at the end, I prefer that one money note, or that one money shot, or that one lick, or that 5 licks at the end, than that everywhere.
Yeah, yes, I totally agree.
And I like that. You build it. And then, it makes people anticipate that one part.
Yeah.
But if you're doing that the whole song, I'm like, okay. All right. Again, okay. Yeah, Mariah Carey can hit that note. But if you do it in every song, I'm not anticipating because I know it, right? But if it comes out, then wow, it wows me, you know? So how I correlate it to life, everything in life is that. Family, a home, school, this podcast. It's all about team. Sports. Everything's about a team. And music, I correlate it to, of course, there's different parts of it, different aspects, more technical aspects, but everything has more technical aspects.
Yeah.
But this podcast doesn't come together if we don't have Sierra behind helping us with the camera, doing the cameras. If we don't have you behind the board running it, giving me the time. If we don't have Francesca asking the questions, you asking the questions. We work together. And it's better when we all do our thing.
Definitely.
And I correlate that to life. I correlate music to life. And that's the type of guy I am in everything I like to do.
I love the idea of the team, actually. That you
it is,
actually
yeah.
put it in everything in your life. It's very
That's
nice.
the way I like to live my life. Everything's a team. My home is a team. Our show that we do with Ikumbare, it's fantastic. It's a team effort.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's not her. It's not you. It's all of us. We all have our thing. And when you do it right, and
It
everyone
works.
does, it works, right? So we all...
We didn't say Olivia. And
It's
Olivia,
Anna Olivia. She's part of the team, right? She's part of the mascot.
disturbing
yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
That's how I would correlate it. Now, enough about me, because I'm like, okay, this is way too much. But thank you for asking the questions. Let's do a quick version of our first thought game. It's first thought time.
But my first thought has a couple of things that are different from the first thought.
No. You're gonna answer some of these questions too.
Okay.
What?
First thought.
What is that?
It's basically she's gonna say something, and the first thought that comes into
Okay.
her mind.
Okay. Favorite music genre?
Me?
Yeah.
I hate picking a
It's
favorite.
first
I'm in
thought.
this age. Yeah. Okay. Salsa.
Okay.
Rock.
Name a song you'd like to hear more often on the radio.
Ooh, good question. Go, you
I
first.
think she has to pee.
More often?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's a good question.
Black.
White? No.
Is black? Is
Is white? Yeah, exactly.
Olivia, basta. Sorry, guys.
I know. Don't Stop Me Now from Queen.
Don't
Nice.
stop.
I love that song. That
I'm
lick, that
having
hook.
such a good time. Don't stop me.
I love that lick. It's just like the chord, the beauty of it. Anyway, sorry.
Album or CD?
Oh, like
CD.
vinyl
Yeah.
or CD?
CD. I'm generation CD.
Just for sound quality, I have to go CD.
And
But
the
vinyl's pretty cool. Like
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is the
Yeah,
object
that's
itself.
why it's a toss-up.
it's pretty cool.
But
yeah.
the first CD was, what was the first CD you bought?
Oh shit!
For me, it was Queen. A Day at the Races.
I had that.
My
one.
very first CD.
So back in I don't know if you had it in Italy because you were living in Italy at the time, but we had Columbia House. So the Columbia House was a company in Canada and North America that you would for 11 cents you can buy 20 CDs.
Yeah.
Madonna.
Yeah.
But you were tied in for 3 years. Once a month you had to buy a CD at $25.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But everyone used to get
But
the
that's
20
crazy.
Yeah, right? So everyone used to get it and then change
Change
name.
it, that's
and
it, that's it.
and you keep getting bills, but you whatever. I'd signed up in like 4 different accounts. So 20, and I have
Columbia House, if you're looking for 'em.
I still have a big rack full of CDs at home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Musician you would most like to meet?
Ooh, fuck.
Alive or dead, let's say.
Oh.
No, this is impossible. I can't
It's
answer.
impossible.
I can answer.
Alive, I'm gonna have to. I admire Mark Anthony as a singer. I love his style.
I don't know.
His salsa stuff is phenomenal. As a person, I don't know. I'm not gonna say he's. Not that I don't like him. I'd love to have a chat, a musical chat with him. Definitely. Freddie Mercury as well would be my dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to say that.
I don't know. There are so many.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go like unpredictable. Orianti.
Who?
Orianti is like one of the best guitar player in the world.
Oh.
So she played for Michael Jackson.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know who you're talking
Before
about.
Jennifer Batten or after?
I think it was before.
More
yeah.
recently, no?
Yeah, it was like
After Beat It. After
yeah,
Thriller.
yeah, after
Okay,
Thriller.
because
Yeah.
Jennifer was.
No, she's like, I think she should be 38 now, 35, Orianti maybe.
Oh yeah. So it's
Nice.
recent. Okay.
And
So,
she's
Jennifer-
together with Richie Sambora.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy Toledo.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
but she's in the Olympo of the best guitar players.
There's a lot of good guitar players,
Yeah.
girl guitar players now.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Nina Strauss.
Nina Strauss is
I love her
phenomenal.
too.
Yeah, she's really good. There's actually a Queen tribute band, and they're all women. The whole band is women. They're pretty cool. I've
Yeah.
seen them. I've seen videos.
There's a here in Quebec another Guns N' Roses tribute band. They're all women.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so cool.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Very cool.
Cool.
So a choice between male or female lead singer?
Male.
Oh, if I had to pick,
For me, male.
Yeah.
I love when I don't know, the singer of Shinedown, his voice.
Yeah, he's good.
when
Yeah.
he's playing like Mama told me
yeah.
Yeah.
when I was young.
Yeah.
Sit beside
I don't think I
me.
can pick. I think it's individualized. Do I have to pick?
Yes.
It's
It's
male or
a
female?
question. Male or female lead
I'll
singer?
go with female.
Okay.
Thanks. We kind of like
It's,
balance.
yeah, we balanced it. I balanced it. That's it. You went male. I had to go female.
John Bonham or Neil Peart?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Fucking A, bro.
You want to pick first?
Now you go.
Okay. Oh, because you see now as a musician, I got to break this down.
I know.
I love them both.
I want because I'm ignorant. So
Neil
They're both
Peart is
drummers.
Rush,
They're drummers.
okay.
and John Bonham is Led Zeppelin.
Thanks.
So I like Neil Peart. He's technically way more gifted than John Bonham, I'd have to say. But I picked John Bonham just because he added to the song the dirtiness to the band. Neil Peart is a perfectionist, and I have his CD. He literally breaks down his solo, which is about 20 minutes long, and he breaks down every note. He's a genius. He's phenomenal. He's one of the greatest drummers, one of the greatest drummers to ever play. John Bonham is phenomenal. Technically, he is. But he's just so, I want to say dirty. And it made Led Zeppelin sound like Jimmy Page is not the cleanest guitar
Yeah.
player, but it's so good because it's just dirty and raw. Mm-hmm. And I like the power. I feel the power behind John Bonham's playing. You know, like da-na-na, da-na-na, and I feel the drive, and I feel the dirtiness, like the roughness, the rawness, and I love that. So I'd have to go John Bonham.
Nice. This is easy. Favorite music era?
It's not that easy actually. Because
Ooh.
we have the 70s. Oh my
60s,
god.
70s? Well,
Yeah,
50s not
but
just
also in
count.
the 80s there were good stuff. The 90s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 80s, what's weird about it is the
I can
sound.
yeah.
But the musicianship was great.
But there are like,
You know, listen to weird stuff. Wham.
oh yeah, right.
So you listen to it and you say, it's so, quote unquote teeny bopperish. The keyboards were so prevalent, the electronic sounds. But then and it sounds like a bubblegum song. Jitterbug,
Yeah.
what the fuck? But when you listen to the musicianship, the bass player was a monster.
Yeah, no. There are no. That's what I'm saying. I think from 70s were clearly, the 60s we have like, but I don't know. Probably what I don't like, forgettable, because the 2000s were good as well because of the house music that was very nice.
Yeah.
It was this deep house music. So, I mean. So probably the 2010, like this last
That era.
decade, 2011 up until 2020, like it was kind of like nothing new. Actually, it simplifies very much pop music. That's why I don't mind The Weeknd, because they kind of like remastered something.
that's true.
Bruno Mars
I
is
love
great.
Bruno Mars.
So we have some stuff, but in terms of, I don't know. Because I mean, Kings of Leon came like before, like in 2000. So in any case, so it's like just like this decade, there's nothing really.
Punchy.
Solid.
Yeah,
Solid.
so far
Yeah.
maybe as you were saying, in I don't know, in 20 years I will. I said, oh,
Yeah, it's
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah.
Genius, yeah.
But now I don't see anyone who's really outstanding. Not really.
Yeah.
I think I would have to go, not because I prefer it, but I think I'd have to go 70s, just because at that point everything was still live.
Yeah.
like everything after that, starting in the 80s, the sequencing, the keyboards, which I love keyboards. I'm a keyboard player, but there was a lot of more sequencing. Then we started getting very technical. All the auto tunes came in, and the computers came in. Not that artists all use it. There's still artists that go in there and man, the band plays. But generally, there's drum machines. There's all of that. In the 70s, everything was, that drummer was in studio. Every song, that drummer was playing it.
Yeah.
You know, there's no samples. A lot of times, it's cut and paste. Oh, that bar sounds good. Okay, paste it for fucking 22 bars, and that's, you know, whatever. They just paste it over and over again, and there it is. Back then is no, you're recording on reel to reel. If you don't get the song good from beginning to end, we got to redo it.
Yeah.
We might be able to punch in here and there, but that's about it. Now it's like, if I get 2 bars, I'm good. You know, because then the rest of the song, you just cut and paste it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of songs now are created with drum machines, with programs, and then live is when the real, you know, but back then in the 70s, I'd have to say everything was live, man. Bass player played every fucking note. The drummer played every fucking note. So may it be rock or disco or funk music. Yeah.
Okay, so drums or keyboard?
No, you can't ask me that.
Yes, I
I
can.
I can't answer that.
Why?
It's like saying mommy or daddy.
I know, but
It's true.
where does the itch need to be scratched more?
I say the reason I can't answer it is because if I'm missing one, like recently, one of the bands I play keyboards. We're quite busy in that band. So because of that, I'm playing drums a little bit less than I did before.
And
I'm missing it. So I'm playing a gig with a band, and we rehearse once a week just so I can play drums at least with a band that once a week. So yeah, it's hard to answer depending on my mood, depending on the type of gig.
Okay. So, is that your final answer?
I can't say it because like it depends what that project needs.
Okay.
Like with December Rose, I back her band up, and I kind of, you know, I put the band together, and it was more of a fit for me to play keyboards in that band just because that's what I felt was needed, because as a band leader, it's easier to lead on keyboards than drums. So I picked keyboard. It doesn't mean that I would pick keyboard all the time, because a lot of bands, like I'm playing in a Styx Journey tribute band, I want to play drums on that one.
Yeah.
Just because that style, I like the drumming in there, and I'm having fun with that. So, yeah.
Okay, now I have a different game.
Uh-oh.
Okay. This is, you're going to tell me who sang the lyric.
Oh, shit.
The group and the
Not
song.
me. I'm terrible with
No,
this.
I'm telling you, it's very easy.
Okay.
I don't know,
I'll
because I
just-
don't even know in English. Like sometimes.
I won't get any of this.
No, you will. Okay, the first one. Once I had a love and it was a gas.
A gas? New City Gas. No, I don't know. I have no idea.
Try.
Once I had
a love and it was a gas.
I'll never get this. I don't
Me
think I
neither.
know.
Bon Jovi. I don't know.
Heart of Glass, Blondie.
Oh, shit, you see?
Okay, let's try
For me,
some.
Bon Jovi.
Well, okay, second one. At first, I was afraid. I was petrified.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. That's because I can play that in my sleep.
Yeah.
I think I've played that song 10
Okay.
million times.
So this one is pretty interesting. Tommy's got his 6th string in Hawk.
Oh, yeah, I know that one. That's Bon Jovi.
There you go. See, it's easy.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah.
All the while you were in front of me, I never realized.
Huh?
All the while you were in front of me, I never realized. That's
Anthony.
Mark Anthony. And you know what's funny? We used that song to start the night every wedding for about 2 years.
Oh, that's
Ah,
nice.
cool.
Every wedding, that was our kind of kicker. That song to start the night, and because it's kind of laid back, yeah. So that was our.
I thought this was easy.
Except for the Hardy.
What?
The Hardy.
The heart,
The
heart,
Hardy
the
Blondie. The
blondie, heart of
Hardy.
glass. But these are the questions. I was actually
That's
going to go
good.
harder, but it's a good thing I didn't go harder.
Yeah. You got the wrong people. Lyrics.
Okay.
I love lyrics, but I don't.
No, for
follow.
me, I don't.
Zero.
I'm not a lyric person.
Yeah.
And that's all for me, bro.
That's how. Well, actually, our time is up once again, guys. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, leave comments. We have our little playlist placement happening. We have questions.
Tag your friends.
Yes, tag your friends. We have Fearless Sounds, of course. You can ask any questions through me for Francesca. Lisa has a podcast with Francesca. Let's talk it out. You got to check that out. Sessions with Stef. If you have any questions for me, whatever it may be, feel free. I'm always going to
You want
answer.
to jam with him?
Yeah, man, whatever. We want to jam. We want to whatever. That sounds really bad, but anyway, but good. Yeah. No, honestly, I've been doing this quite a while. So, even contacts. If anyone needs a drummer, a bass player, a recording studio.
Oh, yeah.
A practice place, a place to, where you want to purchase, where you want to take lessons. You need a teacher. Feel free, right on the chat. We'll get a chat going on Sessions with Stef on either the YouTube channel or Facebook, and I'd be glad to answer, help you. And you need music for an event, you need whatever. I book bands as well for Brasserie des Rapides, where we have bands every Saturday. I do all the booking there, so if you want to book your band there, give me a call. Anything, man. I'm pretty open. I will definitely answer any questions. I'd like to thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
This was a very, very informative podcast. It helps people that are trying to make it, that are releasing songs. You know what? I'm going to say Fearless Sounds. What's the phone number? I know it's 409-6061. Yes. Did I get it? Okay, there you go. That's Fearless Sounds phone number. So we're definitely going to get that in there as our sponsor as well. And Lisa, thank you once again. Sierra, thank you for being on camera.
Olivia, thank you for disturbing us.
Yes, Olivia, thanks for being our mascot. And guys, another Sessions with Stef is done. Thank you all for watching, listening, subscribing. Keep doing it. Anyone wants to sponsor, feel free. We always take any money. That's like a gig. We always take the money. The more you want to give us, we'll always take it. So yeah, thank you very much for listening, guys. Till the next one, it's going to be just as good. Check out Let's Talk It Out and Sessions with Stef, and we are done.